Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. My name is Degs, and you are locked in to the 461st episode of the award-winning Hospital Podcast. This Hospital Podcast I'm super excited about because we get to celebrate one of the most prolific artists in fast soul, drum and bass music, and specifically on Hospital Records as well, Makoto. So yeah, I might as well start rolling the tune. I should have started rolling the tune already. How are we doing in the chat? So yeah, big up Gabriel, big up Hernandez, big up Noel, Montoya. There's a kind of Mexican flavor. I like this kind of South American, Central American flavor there. Big up Richard Clement, Citrus Fly, Adam. It's really nice to see you guys. So this first track is off Makoto's incredible album, which has just been released on Hospital Records. The album is called Motion of Change. This track is called The Best Is Yet to Come, featuring Cleveland Watkiss. Big up Cleveland, man. I'm a massive fan of his. So yeah, locked in, locked on to the 461st episode of the Hospital Podcast. And yeah, let's go, chap. Let's go. As you can see, I'm just still trying to work out how I can navigate this hospital jungle. But we're going to do it, people. Let's go. If you can choose your daily I want to give a big salute to everyone that's locked in, locked on. Big up Harry, Tom, Dylan, Luke, DJ Trox, checking in from a Lake Tahoe in California. Great stuff. Into the table, clear the room, do what's required to remain inspired. Find the perfect secret place, you make your move and then you catch your breath. All is fair when love is high, deep enough beyond the sky. Nothing lost, all is gained. Set the mood and the pace. Wow, incredible stuff. This track right here is by Pola and Bryson. And this track is called Floodgates. We've got some technical difficulties, George. No, we don't. You're just making everything look nice. Like the housekeeper. Oh, I like it, I like it. So yeah, for those of you just joining us right now, you are locked into the 461st episode of the Hospital Podcast with special guests Makoto, SOLAH, and LXT. This track was sent to me for dubsfordegs@gmail.com. It's by Rezilient. It's called Flashback. Let's go. Right, of course, this is the Makoto special. So we're going to play something from his album right now. This track is called Fade Away, featuring Lauren Archer. Amazing piece of music, this. S.P.Y people. Some people are saying it's the favourite track on the album. I gotta agree, it's in my top 3, definitely. George, can we just turn the compressor on this down a tiny bit? It's just ducking the music, brother. Alright then people, music from Mitekiss. This track is called N68. Chocolate Funk Daddy, check out the hospital shop. There's some new garms in stock. Right, so one of the special guests that we've got coming up on the show is an artist called SOLAH. I won't give up too much away from her. She's really, really sick. And this is a track that she's got with Pola and Bryson. It's called Neverend. Check the lyrics on this, man. This is a deep one.
You only live once, and once you're done, everyone forgets. Every second counts is what you amount, they feel your head. No regrets, nothing except you never slept. Oh, I think it's all pretend, maybe this never ends. Only live once, but once you're done, everyone forgets. Don't let them forget. Every second counts is what you amount, they feel.
Yeah, big up Sola. Really looking forward to having a chat with her later today on the podcast. So yeah, something from S.P.Y coming up next. This track is called Dreamin'. See, it's a bit of a tight squeeze. Just trying to navigate my way through the hospital jungle without just destroying the whole podcast, but there we go.
Lots of talking, keyboards getting tapped, and that's the voice you use. Too many split and divided, too many points of view. What's your point of view? What's your point of view? I'm dead behind my eyes when my thoughts spinning. Is anybody home? Nah, I pick my eyes apart, shine a torch in them, and check in on my soul. I could do this with my eyes shut, dreaming. Don't get it twisted, I'm scheming. I've been wrestling demons so long, I forget they're not leaving. Keep my eyes shut, freezing. I'll keep it cold in all seasons. Real, no, we're not even. I said real, no, we're not even. With my eyes shut, dreaming. Don't get it twisted, I'm scheming. I've been wrestling demons so long, I forget they're not leaving. Keep my eyes shut, freezing. I'll keep it cold in all seasons. Real, no, we're not even. It's real, of money.
Show some love in the chat. Pick up Rezilient, my friend. I played one of your tracks earlier. I hope you managed to catch it, but if not, catch it on the replay. Pick up Daniel, pick up Will Lucas, pick up Gabrielle, pick up everyone that's locked in, locked on. Like I said, I'm really excited about this podcast just purely because we get to celebrate someone as amazing as Makoto and two of the many, many great artists that he brought along for his, I don't know how many albums. You know what, I'm going to ask him. How about that? I'm just going to ask him. Instead of trying to speculate how many albums he's done, I'm just going to ask him. But yeah, we're really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, so big up Makoto. I'm going to play a little hospital classic coming up next, and then maybe we should bring Solar in.
I got the money.
Yeah, big up people from Belgrade. My friends at hospital, can you please bring in the very special guest Solar now so I can have a chat with her about how amazing she is. Let's go, champ. Anyway, we're going to let this roll out. I'm going to sing along. You're going to sing along. Let's go. ladies and gentlemen, making a very graceful entrance to the hospital jungle. Don't worry, I'll let you get your headphones on because you won't be able to hear a hell of a thing I'm saying right now. Let's get these headphones on. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat as well, can you do me a massive favor and make some noise for SOLAH? I just want you to come a bit closer to me. I have put deodorant on, it's just so I can make sure that we can all see you. SOLAH, how are you? Wow, the mic works. Fantastic news. Right, we're going to roll out this tune and then I'm going to start asking you some questions and talking and stuff. So we'll enjoy these 16 bars first, right? Okay, so like I said, this is a bit of a special podcast today because not only do we get to celebrate one of hospital's most prolific artists in Makoto, we actually get to celebrate two very, very, very good, very talented, very amazing songwriters and vocalists. How many other great words can I use? I'm running out. I should have written them all down before. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, can we make some noise and clap your hands for SOLAH, please? Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing on this Wednesday? I believe it's evening now.
I'm good. I'm just, this is live.
Yep, it's super live. It's super live. Show us some love in the chat, please. So we've basically today, I don't want to put too much on you because it is live and it's actually can be quite nerve-wracking doing this, knowing that there is a legion of people watching you at home. So firstly, what I wanted to talk about is, you are an emerging artist and someone who's incredibly talented and has worked already with some fantastic people, which is really great to see. Also flying the flag for female vocalists. It feels like there's a kind of a new revolution happening at the moment. You've recently signed to Hospital Records. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that and how that came about?
Yeah, it wasn't a quick process, I would say. So I wrote some songs in 2020 just for the love of writing. And they kind of made their way in front of Dan Newtone.
Yep.
And then thanks to Dan.
Big up, Dan. But also to your talent.
He played them to these guys and Chris, and they were kind of like, oh, these are all right. And then the next thing I knew, I was having a video call with the whole team about kind of doing much, much more.
Wow.
And was like, okay.
How did that feel? I mean, that must be quite crazy, right? Hospital Records are asking to have a Zoom with you. What time period? You said this was about 2020, right?
Yeah, so I think we got on a call in December 2020, and then kind of it took about 9 months to kind of iron all of that out, and for various reasons, pandemic, all sorts. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when we kind of agreed to, yes, let's do this, then that was about October 2021, and we've just been writing. It's been great.
Fantastic. Yeah. And you've already put out some music so far. I mean, we played on episode 460, we played Constant, which went down really, really well in the comments. Do you want to tell me a little bit about how that came about and who it was produced by and what the sort of creative process was behind it? Because it's a great tune.
Yeah, so it's it's a continuation of those first songs I wrote, really, with Steve BC. And then we kind of went in with Dan as well, Newtone, and finished them off. But we wrote Everything Is Possible and Fly pretty quickly together. Wow. And then by maybe, was it January, Constant? And yeah, so it's quite an old song to me in that way, but it means a lot, so it's good. And yeah, it's had kind of a nice response from everyone. And we did a bit of shooting for it last night for a little something. Lovely stuff.
Oh, are you allowed to say?
I'm probably not.
You're not. You're on the Hospital podcast. I've taken over the podcast now. The rules have gone.
It's the exclusive.
It's the exclusive. Okay. Well, you know what? We'll leave them a little bit in suspense. So, that first release went down really, really well, as you said, and it's really fresh. It sounds really new. It's something. This kind of a part of this vocal explosion that seems to be happening at the moment. And what I found really cool on your Instagram was the vinyl reveal.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about that? How did that feel to finally have your tunes on vinyl? You can put it on your wall. You can even play it on a CD, not on a CDJ. Jesus.
I mean, is that the one where I'm a little bit emotional, maybe?
And I love that. I actually love that because you know what? The one thing I really liked about it is because it showed your personality as what it is, and it showed genuine excitement. And as a fellow musician, I can kind of understand that absolutely. So yeah, how did that feel when you finally got the box and you were unboxing it and everything?
I mean, it's all still feeling very surreal, to be honest. It's definitely kind of holding it there. I'm like, is this mine? Is that my face? I'm just kind of in a bit of a daze. I think there's going to be moments where I'm like, I think especially on stage, I think that hits you, doesn't it? A realization of, wow, doing this to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just living the dream a little bit at the moment.
Fantastic. And before we touch on the track that you've done with Makoto, which is the title track of the album, which is pretty cool in itself, but also it's an amazing piece of music, which I love.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about what people can expect from you moving forward when it comes to kind of more live stuff. I understand that I don't know much about what's happened, but I understand that you've got kind of like a DJ in the pipeline and you've got some shows that are coming up. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about that?
Yes, so I've got a lovely kind of DJ working with me called Emma B.
Big up Emma B.
She's a friend, but also an amazing DJ. She just mixes beautifully and works really well with mixing vocal tracks as well. So really happy to be working with her.
Good stuff.
And we're kind of rehearsing stuff at the moment, but we think we've got something ready for Albania.
Fantastic.
It's going to be the
next week, eh?
first live thing of it. So you'll hear it next week.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, I can speak for many of us to say that I am very, very excited to see that. To anyone that is missing Albania, we may have some video content of your set, of unfortunately my set as well. It's not going to go down quite as well, but
it's the live word again, isn't it?
The live, it's that live thing again, streaming. So when you hit a bum note, it's like, oh, great, loads of people have just heard that, but it is what it is. So big up Emma B as well. I actually know her as well. She is the partner of a good friend of mine and obviously my friend as well. It's not just the partner as well. And she's a lovely girl, and it's really, really nice to see that friends are working together in music. It's kind of what it's all about. So moving on now to the man of the hour, Makoto. Motion of Change. Where did that title come from, and what does it kind of mean to you? What is it about?
I think when I was writing this, I was thinking about relationships and how I often think about this really because I lived through it a little bit with my own relationship when we had a very long kind of dating period basically, and it worked brilliantly for us because it meant that it was exciting for so long, and it still is. But it was about holding back some of those things that sometimes people do quite quickly, like moving in together and buying a house, getting married. It was just kind of living in the now, really. And although it has a broader meaning, I think, which is why it's a nice album title. Yeah. Because everything has a motion of change to it. But definitely that song was kind of living in the moment a bit, and just enjoying things without putting kind of things that you need to achieve ahead of you. But I'm really happy that it's the title. It's such an honor.
It's an amazing thing, and looking through the track list, it seems to make the most sense if you actually look at the whole project as a whole as well. So that obviously wasn't intentional, but it's nice when it works out like that, doesn't it? Yes. So last couple of things from me asking you before we play this amazing piece of music, which is called Motion of Change, and it is out right now on Hospital Records. So I just wanted to ask you, who would you say, and please don't mention me because this is obviously not true, but who is a vocalist in drum and bass? And it would be great if it was a woman. It would be fantastic.
Am
I a woman? No, actually, no, you never know. But a vocalist in drum and bass, someone that you're inspired by, and someone that you want to maybe shout out now on the podcast. And they can be well known, they can be unknown. It's completely up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always watching what Ruth Royal's doing. Yep. She's a massive inspiration to me. She's just nailing everything. So big ups Ruth Royal. Big up Ruth Royal, and she's a fantastic songwriter as well as a vocalist. You know? And I think for me, listening to music, I do often hear brilliant vocals first, and I'll be like, "Who's that?" And I remember distinctly hearing her voice and being like, who's that? And since then I've followed her, and that was kind of, I was a fan way before I kind of met her because she's great. So big ups to her. And yeah, there's just loads of women just nailing it, like Emily Makoto.
Yeah, man, she's sick.
She's so cool.
She's sick. She's sick.
So cool.
She's got a vibe about her.
She
Even
has,
her personality
she really
as well,
has,
right?
yeah.
She's got a vibe about her, man.
And I'm following loads of female DJs. I'm obviously a real big champion of my Emma B at the moment.
Yep,
so
love
I'd
that.
like to see what's coming from her.
So I'm really excited to see you two in action, especially because you've been rehearsing, and I think it's going to be, like I said, I mentioned it's like sort of like a new era of drum and bass in the sense that vocalists are now starting to take a bit more center stage. And I think Hospitality on the Beach, Albania, is kind of going to be the perfect environment for you, with the sun out, the kind of music that you write, the kind of emotions that you invoke in your lyrics as well. Is there any particular tune that you're looking forward to in your discography that you're going to be looking forward to playing the most?
Oh, what a good question.
I won't ask any more hard questions, I promise.
I mean, because it's a mix, like they all complement each other in different ways, but obviously Elevate, I love that song, so I'm really excited to keep singing that, and to a live audience to be brilliant. It's going to be vibes.
Fantastic. I really look forward to it. It's going to be awesome. Sola, thank you so much for joining me for a quick chat. Hopefully I didn't interrogate you too much.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. And before I let you go, is there anything in the pipeline that you want to let people know? Is there anything coming up, or is something you're excited about? The floor is yours.
Well, we've got the release of Elevate a couple of weeks ago. Please check it out if you haven't already. It's something a little bit different to the first few tracks.
It is, yeah.
And obviously Albania, if you're going to be tuning in live, if you have to.
If you have to, don't worry, I'm going to put the link in the description.
I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully lots of you are going, and I'll see you there. And after that, we've got more singles. Glastonbury.
Wow.
Yeah, all sorts.
Do you know what? I feel like we're going to have another chat at some point down the line on this podcast. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next 2 or 3 years bring for you. And I think you're going to be a really integral part of the label, and also an integral part of this vocalist movement. So really happy to have you on Hospital. And this track is called Motion of Change. Sola, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully you'll be able to navigate your way out of the hospital jungle.
Go.
But cheers, guys. This track is called Motion of Change. Let's go.
Picturing how it's meant to be, finally full color, ready to discover this moment. I won't let it go, 'cause I'll never feel this way again. And
Yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Showing some love for Sola right now. She's got an absolutely wicked voice. She's actually, I didn't mention, that the first ever full-time female vocalist on Hospital Records, so she's kind of making history right now. But we're going into the light, into a little bit of darkness. Some wobbly goodness from the man like Unglued. This track is called Got to Have. Going on, Jessica, Mr. Clement, Citrus Fly, all the gang inside. Right, this track, it's not exactly drawing for the vaults, but it's by a group called Data Free. Some guys that I really, really love and respect. This track, I just love the kind of LFO funness about this. That's not even a word, funness. There you go, Degs making up shit as usual. And also I swore. Big up Brian. Unfortunately, Jessica, if I start spitting bars, it ducks all the music. So, and you don't want all the YouTube commenters to start complaining again. So you're going to play something new from Solvent Records. Again, 3 of my favorite groups / artists on the planet. This is Askel, Elere, Unglued, and Pavan of Foreign Beggars. This track is called Off Angle. Check this out.
Trying to see my future through the haze. Wading through the mud, got my demons feeling brave. Moving like the shackles on my brain. I stay battling these thoughts, I'll be damned if it's in vain. I take aim, I've come to love this web in which I'm tangled. Deep with the art, catch a brother on an off angle. More time to self is what we wrangle. Steady in belief, forgive and that, but we can handle.
People in the chat, I want to see some ratings out of 174 for this tune. I think I'm going to give this 171? What do you reckon, people? What do you reckon? It's got to be at least 171.
I'm trying to see my future through the haze. Wading through the mud, got my demons feeling brave. Moving like the shackles on my brain. I'll stay battling these thoughts, I'll be damned if it's in vain. I take aim, I've come to love this web in which I'm tangled. Deep with the art, catch a brother on an off angle. More time to self is what we wrangle. Steady in belief, forgive us that what we can handle. Off angle.
Yeah, this is an incredible tune, man. Solvent Records doing bits. I'm going to play the flip side to this a little bit later on the podcast. This is out this Friday, the 27th of May. And yeah, amazing stuff.
Steady state channeling. Universal territory we traveling. These frequencies we riding on. Got me on the path far beyond the daily ambulance. We out here rumbling the cosmos. Tumbling the pressure every chance we get to lock and load. I'm rocking boats for the daily paper. Rock with us so you could end up in the daily
Yeah, Vibe Central, this tune. Alibi, Uneasy. I'm going to let this roll out for a bit, man. Someone had to say 69. Go on, Noel. You tell him, brother. Yeah, I really apologise. That scared the hell out of me as well. This is an ongoing process. We're learning whilst we're on the job. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the vibes down a little bit. I'm going to play an absolute classic of drum and bass. And I can just imagine you all in your sitting rooms singing this. So yeah, let's go.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view. Now I know I'll never be the same 'cause of you. It's been a long, long time since I had you here. Oh. And now that you're so close, when all that I need most is some time away from you.
The only thing to ever change is the feeling out of range. Pushing all the right buttons, I can feel it though the flames. Drawing me closer at the same time, pushing me. Building me up but at the same time crushing me. Bittersweet symphony, falling no cushioning. Impatient stakeout, premature rushing in. It never starts where it begins. We was made to fly, so that's why my heart's one on my wings. And that's regardless of my sins and everything that comes with them. My life's a drummer but with no rhythm. But I won't give in, I feel closer than I've ever been. Banging on the door till someone lets me in. You see regrets begin, where happiness is dying down. Struggling, deciphering who's lying now. Until I'm lying down, the only thing you'll get is me. Change the system or just let it be.
The only thing that ever really changed was the view.
Incredible stuff, man. Yeah, once again, I do apologise. I blame it on, do you know what I blame it on? I blame it on Boris Johnson. You know, not only Partygate, but it's Mixgate as well. He's the one that set up the audio, so it's nothing to do with us. It's all Boris's fault.
Time since I had you here.
But But yeah, I think it's time we bring on another special guest. So the hospital family, could you please bring on our next special guest? I'm really excited to speak to this individual, man.
I need most is some time away from you.
Yes, love is wild. I say that's the way it goes. Maybe I should just give up and stop searching. But when life is so short and so uncertain, I have to keep on trying. And wherever it takes me, that's where I'll go.
The only thing that ever
And once again, making a very, very graceful entry to the hospital jungle, my friend. This is someone who might not be as well known to drum and bass circles, but you will certainly get to know this individual, I can promise you that. Mr. LXT.
How we doing, Degs?
I'm very well, my friend.
See you, man.
We had a little chat backstage. I say backstage, like this is like a proper podcast, all right? And it turns out that you used to live in Horsham Town, right?
For a minute, yeah.
You used to live for a minute, right? And we got some Horsham guys in the chat. We got Clements, we got Dave, we got some other crazy delinquent beer drinkers like
Mungo goers.
Oh my God, you know
I know
Mungo?
it,
You
I
know
know
about
it.
Mungos?
Bro, I've been there.
Jesus.
It's a
Okay.
small world, right?
Yeah, it's too small, too small. So anyway, enough about the delicacies of Horsham Town. Firstly, how are you?
I'm good. I'm grateful to be here.
Mate, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Hospital Records.
Yeah, man.
Before I go any further, I just want to say that One More Chance is an absolutely excellent tune.
Thank you.
A fantastically soulful vocal. So I just wanted to ask before we get cracking, obviously, is this the first time you've worked with Makoto, right?
First time I've been in hospital and Makoto.
And Makoto,
So,
wow.
yeah,
So this
yeah.
is like new ground for you in a way, right?
It is, yeah. But like just to circle back, so
Go on.
my first legal rave was hospitality.
No way.
Like when I was 18,
No
watching
way.
Netscape, and I was just like, this is all I want to do. And I was doing music back then.
Yeah.
And it's been almost 10 years to that day.
So has it kind of come full circle a little
Full
bit for
circle,
you? Wow.
delayed gratification.
Fantastic.
So it's a great moment for me, man.
Amazing how the universe makes shit happen sometimes,
Yeah,
isn't it?
man.
It's crazy.
For sure,
So
for sure.
talking about the track itself, I mean, how did the kind of creative process come about? How is it that you managed to get in contact with Makoto? How did that sort of, just explain away, please?
Yeah. Transparently, like it was just through management. We'd built kind of a great relationship with Hospital, and some of the other artists have worked over here before, but the opportunity came up, and I came down, and I think Makoto was a little bit late actually, so I just played the record and I just penned the whole song in like probably like 45 minutes,
Wow.
and then he turned up and he was like, "Oh, you've done the song
So
already?"
you penned that on the day?
On the day.
No, you didn't take any time before.
No, I hadn't
Wow.
heard the record, so
That's
yeah.
even more impressive. I
Then he
must
come in, he was
admit.
just like, "Oh, you ready to record?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it.
Let's
So,
go.
Yeah, man. let's go.
Fantastic, man. Well, I've got to say it's certainly a highlight on the record, and I was really happy to hear that you wanted to come in and have a chat about it. So, One More Chance, lyrically, I guess, relatively digestible. We can understand what it is, but sometimes artists have different meanings. So, what does it really mean to you? Like, what do the lyrics really mean to you?
I think it's just like it's the chase, right? It's the putting your cards on the table and hoping that they kind of understand you for who you are. And sometimes we put your cards on the table and they might not like it, but just give me one more chance to show you, or at least to love you. So
I love that, and it's
Yeah.
and it's such a relatable topic as well, because I think we've all been there. I mean, anyone that pretends that they haven't embarked on the chase, they're lying, bro. They're lying.
Yeah.
I mean, even my current missus who's in the chat right now, she's probably tell you that she wasn't interested the first time. Sometimes you gotta put the work.
Ages, man.
Yeah, exactly,
Just
man.
like
Oh, I love that. So, you talked a little bit earlier about how hospitality was your first kind of legal rave. We won't talk about the illegal stuff. We'll keep that. We'll keep that. 'Cause it's not. Is it PG-13, George? What is this show?
we're good, George, innit?
Anything goes,
Yeah,
right?
okay,
Anything
cool.
goes, right? Okay.
So
Okay.
first legal rave, Brixton Academy.
Brixton Academy. So
18
what year
years
would
old.
that have been? Do you reckon?
Maybe like I should know the maths really.
You should.
2013.
2013. Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
and you mentioned as well. So you had the likes of Netsky. Was someone that you remember watching, and
Oh, big fan, man.
was it what was
David
it about?
Rodigan was there.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was a
okay.
clap.
So what was it about the music? What was it about drum and bass music in particular back then that kind of tickled your pickle in that respect, for want of a better phrase?
Yeah, I think I come from the age, and we're probably similar age. I'm 27, right?
I'm 33.
Oh, you got older.
I'm
But
just
I come
old.
from the place where like people were spitting to D&B in
Yeah.
the woods, like
Yeah.
not even like jump up or drum and bass or liquid, like just pure skibber, shabba.
Yeah.
Like, so I come from that, and then more music starts to create, and then you get into the more of like the sounds and the ethereal sounds, and then you start going out, and then it all just falls into one, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Love that. I love it. So I want to delve a little bit back into kind of the history of LXT as an artist and kind of, you know, even going back further than that. What was your kind of your first route into music? What made you think, I actually really quite enjoy doing this. I'm good at this. I've got a knack for it. What was the first kind of instance in your life, and you know, how old were you and how did it kind of come about?
I was young. I was like 14.
Okay.
I think I was like 13. I went to my work experience was at a studio, right? Because I wanted to do. At that time, I was like, yeah, I'll just sing Mario to girls and stuff. And I thought it was cool and whatever. Like, yeah,
Let me love you, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, come on.
So
he's the only guy with bigger nostrils than me. You know that.
So look, I went and done work experience, and I made this song, and it was just the worst record you could ever hear in your life, and the girls liked it at the time, whatever.
Wow, love that.
And I sent it to Tiny Temper's team at the time, so Disturb in London at that point, and Lifelong Recordings. And he said, "Oh, mate, I think it's shit, but can I say that? Sorry."
Yeah, you can. We've worked out Anything Goes, right? Yeah, George's in the corner, like, yeah.
So he's just like, nah, this isn't good, but I like what you're doing. So he brought me up. We penned another song. My mum took me. That's how young I was.
Wow.
My mum was sitting in the studio. And
so
then,
you knew from early this is what you really wanted to do. Like,
yeah, and then we sent that song to Sony ATV, and they got me in that Saturday.
Fantastic.
And then just kind of building and just finding out who I am as an artist. And it's taken me a long time to even understand who I am as a person, let alone an artist. So yeah,
that's really cool. And it, you know, the relatable side of your lyrics there, and the way that it's very delicately what's the word? Woven. That's it.
Weaved and woven.
Woven around the tune. I think Makoto has set up a really nice canvas for you to do your thing. And I'm super impressed you wrote that in 45 minutes. I've got to admit. I mean, that deserves a fist bump, bro. I mean, wow. I mean,
it was different, right? For me, like typical drum and bass, I didn't know it was that, and I was just like, this is funky and soulful.
Okay.
And it actually kind of complements what I do, so it kind of was natural.
Interesting that you say that. Do you find Makoto's sound, is it a little bit different to maybe what you were expecting for a drum and bass record?
For sure. I think, you know, he had some great records on Spotify and streaming platforms and stuff, but it was different to what I heard when he sent it to me, and I was just like, this is still like so cool, and it actually fits what I'm doing. Like, it was a good pick, I suppose. Like,
fantastic.
To source it. So yeah, man.
It's amazing that, you know, like I had no idea it took you so quickly, but also the fact that you came down here and wrote it together. So obviously moving forward, this is mostly a drum and bass podcast, and you know, can we expect to hear you on any more drum and bass records moving forward?
Let's just say it's a foot in the door here, right? So I'm hoping that the guys behind in the VIP room, they can...
the VIP room. That's what it is now, right? The VIP room.
I hope that, you know, they like the record and they want to bring me down to do more, because I'm ready, man.
Fantastic. So, and I love that hunger as well, man. And I think you're going to do really well. You have an incredible voice. Your songwriting is top notch. Like, genuinely is really, really good. And it's very, very impressive to see just how quickly you can put a piece of music that's so incredibly relatable to so many people, including myself. It's really, really nice to see. So,
just while we're on that, actually.
Go on,
the
please.
record that you've done on the album is incredible, man.
Oh, thank you, brother. He had to have paid him to say that.
No, do you know what? Like, to hear you spitting and then go into singing and then doing both, and I'm just like, bro, what the hell, man?
Thank
like,
you, brother. Thank you.
All-round talent, man.
No, you're a legend. I appreciate that. You know, we all have our own talents. We all do our own thing. And what you have going is excellent, like genuinely really, really excellent. And I was talking a little bit earlier with SOLAH, Hannah, who's a really, really nice girl and an incredible vocalist, and someone that's kind of a part of this new drum and bass sort of vocalist movement. And I think with the soulful nature of your voice and your delivery and the way that you approach lyrical content, even though I've only been quite limited in what I've heard, it's certainly something that, you know, your style is certainly something that I would like to hear a lot more over drum and bass. So, you know, we'll talk certainly after this.
Yeah, I'd love to, man.
But also,
sure.
I'd love to see you perform this at some point. And so I know we will chat to the guys, because I think there would be a Makoto LXT performance would be something quite special, right?
Well, if there's anything to go off, I done a song, and then the week after was Hospitality in the Woods, right?
Yeah.
And I saw Makoto. So hopefully this year...
Okay.
We'll see what happens, man.
Well, you know, you said earlier you've been manifesting a lot of things in your life, bro.
It's coming, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so last thing I'm going to ask you, and I guess is a bit of an open question, is what can people expect from LXT in the next kind of 6 to 12 months, and what have you got in the pipeline? Please, you know, the floor is yours. We really want to support.
Look, I mean, at the moment, I'm just soul searching and just writing records which make sense to me, and I want to put out a body of work, like purely from the beginning to end, skits, everything, like as a solo artist primarily. And just make sure that, you know, I don't want people to shuffle songs. You have to listen from the beginning to the end. It's a piece of work. And that's what I want to put out. But then I want to keep exciting, hot, fresh kind of top lines in all genres because I can do it. So I mean, it sounds like you're not limiting yourself to one lane.
No.
You're willing to try different things. I mean, for myself, electronic funk vibes, soulful vibes, Jamiroquai Son is what everyone calls me. So
love that. Jamiroquai Son. Man. That's a compliment.
It's my stepdad, man.
That's a compliment.
People start saying it, so it's stuck. Yeah.
Oh, mate, Jamiroquai's dad. Unless you put out a record, I'll be very surprised you haven't. If you put one out called Jamiroquai's dad?
No, but I might have to do that.
I think you're going to have to, man, because it really does. Yeah. Okay, wicked stuff. Well, LXT, thank you so much, my friend.
It's been a pleasure, man.
I've been absolute pleasure, and it's really good to meet you as well.
Yeah, we're going to cut up afterwards.
Obviously, on the socials and stuff afterwards, we're going to put all your socials up there. We'll give you the links to all of your music. So this track is on Makoto's album, Motion of Change. It's called One More Chance, featuring yourself, LXT. Have you got any final messages for the gang whilst we're out here?
Nah, look, just thank you for listening.
What a guy. What a guy. We love that, man. Listen, brother.
Thanks for the program.
My absolute pleasure, my friend. All right. This track is called One More Chance. Hospital Podcast 461. Thank you guys so much. And listen to this. Sorry, this guy's got a sick voice. One more time, big up LXT, man. This is an excellent piece of music. Makoto, Motion of Change. What a bloody album. So it's not long now until I bring the man of the moment onto the podcast for a little chat. So I thought what I might do now is just play like some music from him. And this track is by him and another Japanese artist called Mountain. I've been playing quite a lot of Mountain stuff on the Hospital podcast. I nearly called it The Show. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. It's not really technically a show, you know. I'm not flipping Piers Morgan, am I? Jesus. Do I look like Piers Morgan? George, don't nod and say yes. I don't look anything like Piers Morgan. So this track is called Delorean Dreams. I'm about to play next. And I really like this. 2 Japanese producers. It proves that drum and bass is worldwide. I want to say a massive shout out to Maxim as well in the chat. Big up my brother. And yes, we fixed the soundboard so it isn't killing you. Sorry, Boris Johnson, it is his fault. Yeah, much love to my Johannesburg crew. I see you right now. So it's time for some more Makoto. So this track is actually off his album before, and it's called Tokyo 96, featuring Carlos S.P.Y, Brazil, Japan, in the hospital jungle. You're locked into 461st episode of the Hospital Podcast, featuring the Kenyan Giraffe. Let's go, champ!
Cold I'm trying to stay alive, ducking while I dive, trying to find an enterprise. Ain't no starship escape, give me planetary highs, so I keep my eyes peeled with them demons in disguise. I ain't trying.
It's all about the sit-down mixing, George.
If you follow my crumbs, there's a drill to the line. The vigilante, it's all between the lines. Stay alert, listen up. If you search, you will find. Stay alert. Good and evil are fighting, so know your worth.
Yeah, they got Whiny and Inja on this tune. Man, I caned this tune so much last year when it came out. You have no idea.
Eyes peeled, open up, observe.
Good music, that's what it's all about.
Protect your heart and the breaths that you've earned. Game face, war face strategies. I'm no philanthropist, but I know pain and agony. I know the ups and downs and life's casualties. Missing pieces to the puzzle, that's reality. We're all lost, trying to find a space tangle free. No longer puppets on the string, allow the fantasies. What your eyes can see can leave you panicky. Find me camouflaged up in the canopy. Stay alert. Good and evil are fighting, so know your worth. Stay alert. Choose your side, stand firm, hold your turn. Stay alert. Eyes peeled, open up, observe. Stay alert. Protect your heart and the breaths that you earn.
Yeah, big up Blade Runner. I swear this guy does 10 out of 10 tunes every time. Right, coming up next, something that's been killing the dance floors recently, and of course it has to be by Pola and Bryson, man. Check this out. I had to play this, man. Come on. None of you owned a Beyonce CD. I did. None of you owned a Destiny's Child CD. I owned 3. You know, it's really hard to do remixes, man. And these guys just smashed it out of the park. But starting off the critical 20-year compilation coming up next. Yeah. So it's nearly that time to introduce the man of the moment, Mr. Makoto. Just letting the hospital guys know, can you get him ready for like the next sort of like minute, 2 minutes? This track is called Iridescent Fog by Hieroglyphics. Let's do this. gang in the comments. We've obviously got Makoto coming up next. Has anyone got any questions that you want me to ask Mr. Makoto? Of course, they have to be nice questions. Otherwise, you know, we're not having that. Yeah, big up Critical Music, man. I see you guys in the chat. That 20-year album is saucy, bro. Wow. So good. Fantastic timing. It's that Japanese timing. You've done it actually perfectly. I can't believe it. He literally comes during the breakdown. What an amazing legend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're locked into Hospital Podcast 461. We have my good friend,
hello,
Mr. Makoto. How are you today, my friend?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, dude, this is a celebration of your great album, Motion of Change, but also a fantastic career that you've had on Hospital Records. So, to start with, what number is this album?
It's album 3 for Hospital.
And in total?
In total, 7.
7, wow. And that include On Human Elements as well?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, great stuff. So how does it feel having an album out? It's a really summery, really soulful album, and it feels like it came out at the right time.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it a project that you're super proud of? Are you happy with how it all went?
Yeah, of course. But I wasn't really making an album, but I was making a lot of tunes during lockdown.
Oh, really?
So those tunes are all written in lockdown time. So I wasn't really planning to make album, but it's somehow
it just happened.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, tell us a little bit more about that. So you said you were making music during lockdown, and you didn't really have a plan to have an album.
Yep.
Where did the album idea come from? Was it Hospital? Was it you? I mean, how did it kind of happen?
Yeah. So I had so many tunes on a pot. So Hospital started telling me like, "Oh, you can make album." I was like, "What?" So, but
fantastic.
Making album is, great project as well. So I just did it.
And we were very, very lucky. On your last project, I was, it's an honor for me. I've listened to your music for many, many years, and I've been a huge fan of your music. And to be able to make a piece of music like we did on the last album, but then again to make it on this one. Yep. Your last album, Tomodachi Sessions. Obviously, Tomodachi in Japanese is friends, right?
Friends, yeah.
Yeah. And I really love the concept behind that.
Right.
You've gone from like a very vocal heavy album, but this album as well has turned out to be quite vocal heavy.
Yeah.
That wasn't intentional, was it?
Not at all.
It just turned out to be like that.
Yeah. Because during lockdown, you want some company, so I was just doing lots of collaborations. But this time I thought I've done enough collaborations with producers, so might do with that vocalist I like. So.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. And I think your sound, Maki, in general is so good for vocalists. I mean, I remember when you sent me the original sketch for Explorer.
Yeah.
I already knew straight away.
Really?
I've just been chatting with LXT, and he said that he turned up at the Hospital studio before you.
Yep.
And he'd already written the vocal straight away.
Yeah.
And I think that's, to everyone that's listening out there, from a vocalist perspective, when you have an artist like Makoto, his music is so soulful, so accessible that it's almost like a canvas for us to jump on. And it's actually really nice to see, because you've got some incredible vocalists from Lauren Archer, and even Archaic. That vocal on that is a really, really good vocal.
Yeah.
How do you usually go about trying to work with vocalists? I mean, how do you kind of approach people? How does it work?
Basically, I always have some instrumental, but I always leave that space for the vocal. So I just send out to the people, but I before send out, I always think like who's gonna best for this tune, this track. So I don't know how, but it always works.
So naturally, I mean, you're a very natural producer anyway, and it seems like a lot of your tracks have a lot of feeling, and they don't feel like they're forced. And I think that's something that's really, really cool about your style, because it's very, very unique to you. And it reminds me, I grew up listening to a lot of soulful music and R&B and all sorts of stuff, Motown, the chord structures that you use, a lot of that is something, it just reminds me of that sort of music, but it's over fast music. It's crazy.
That's all my influences, like soul, funk, jazz, So
I can really hear that.
Yeah.
So, when obviously I know you've spoken about this in interviews on Hospital podcasts and things like that in the past, but so some of your influences you mentioned, I mean, is there any particular artist that you would say when you were in Japan that you really looked to, not drum and bass specifically, but in terms of like, you know, the way you do your chords and stuff like that? Anyone in particular?
I would say Marvin Gaye,
wow,
Stevie Wonder, or Leon Ware, who is producer for Marvin Gaye or Jackson 5.
Okay, wow.
Those like
So it's a real
Motown,
classic,
basically, I love 70s music.
Yeah.
That's how I came from.
I can really hear that influence in your style. So, talking about drum and bass in Japan, I know I played a track earlier, Delorean Dreams with Mountain. What for the listeners that don't really know, and I probably include myself in that, to be honest. Yeah. What is the drum and bass scene like out in Japan at the moment in 2022?
At the moment, well, I left Japan 4 years ago. I don't really know anymore, but
because you're in Essex now, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to give anyone your address. It just shows you how much I remember things. I'm not old yet.
But I mean, drum and bass always has been there, but it's not the massive like UK or other European countries. But always there's some people, some I mean, drum and bass fans always there. So it's not a big, but it used to be massive in 90s.
Okay.
The late 90s was quite big. That's when I got into drum and bass.
Because I saw that the likes of Logistics and New Tone and obviously Tony, London Elec, they were traveling out to Japan quite a lot. Yeah. So, sort of fast forward from that kind of golden era of which you were a huge part of. I mean, I remember when I first saw your name and thinking, that doesn't sound like an English name. And then I find out a little, because back then there was no social media back then.
Right.
It wasn't like you could just type in someone's name and all this information used to come up about them. There wasn't that much information on you. So it kind of had this cool mystique about, Makoto is from Japan, and like, how cool is that? But fast forward to 2022, you now have an artist like Mountain breaking through. I mean, what's your kind of relationship with Mountain like, and what do you guys looking to make more music together? Because I think you work really well.
Yeah, we've done a few tunes together. I mean, I've known him like 5-6 years. I've been seeing how he grows. Yeah, and it's really I'm really glad someone like him coming through, because there was no one from Japan.
So he's like the only one.
Right, so I was always like alone. So yeah, it's really. I mean, I'm glad.
Fantastic. Mate, it's so good to see, man. And you're a super humble guy, and it's nice to see that in many respects you're helping the new generation. So I won't ask you too many crazy questions, but I want to talk a little bit about Motion of Change and. What does and then you don't have to answer this in anything too deep, in a deep way or anything, but what does this album, as your third album on Hospital Records, what does this mean for you in terms of like a milestone in your career as an achievement? I mean, what kind of emotions do you feel when you think about this record?
It's quite a difficult question.
It is difficult, right? I told him I wouldn't ask any difficult, but it's Degs in it. So.
Yeah, but I really feel like satisfied because like. I worked with vocalists I wanted to work with, and with a hospital, I couldn't do it because hospital got so much network, So I'm really satisfied with this.
Fantastic.
But I want to make new music again. So
are you saying you're already excited to make more music? Now?
Of course, always.
Wow. And you've put out so much great music over the years, and you still have that. Burning.
Yeah, that's the only I can do anyway. So what else can I do?
Good. Mate. Well, as a fan, and as I can probably speak for a lot of people on the podcast, as a fan of your music, we're really, really happy to hear that. And so we're going to talk a little bit about Explorer. So I remember when I first got the instrumental from Maki. Right. Instantly, I knew straight away what I wanted to do. Wow. And I already had the topic in mind. It's about being with someone and exploring the world together. Right. And I kind of felt, because we have this international connection of you being originally from Japan, obviously living in the UK now, some of my family being from Kenya and obviously the UK. Right. It's kind of crazy. We have these three countries together, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it was, I remember when I first sent you the vocals and I wasn't sure whether you were going to like them or not, because
straight away, man.
And then straight away. So, I mean, from my perspective, I hope we get to make a lot more music together.
Yeah, definitely.
So before I let you go, is there anything that you, what have you got coming up next in terms of like gigs, or is there anything that you want to tell people about what Makoto is up to?
At the moment, we're just relaxing, making music because it's no pressure. Because
Nice.
making album is so much pressure, right?
Of course, yeah.
So I'm just at the moment just enjoying some time off. But it's not time off. But I'm still making new music. But yeah, and then I'm looking forward to playing some hospitality on the beach and
Awesome.
Oots and some other like Lucky City festival.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the Woods is next week, right? Already.
The beach.
Oh, no, sorry,
right?
the beach.
Beach. Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one that should know, but there we go. So
Yeah, already next week.
it's already next week,
Crazy.
next Wednesday.
Crazy.
And so you've got, how many sets have you got out there?
I've got 4 sets.
You've got 4.
Four sets.
Oh, they're really working you hard then, right?
Wow,
I'll have a word.
Yeah, right. It's promotion time, so it's okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, mate, you absolutely deserve it. Motion of Change is a really wicked project.
Thanks so
It's got
much.
some fantastic vocalists,
Thanks so
and it
much.
has that really unique, identifiable Makoto sound. I think I can speak for everyone on the podcast that we're really, really looking forward to hearing some more music with you. So, Makoto, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
I really appreciate it. Hopefully, I can make some more music with you at some
Yeah,
point. I'd love
definitely.
to,
Let's do it.
my friend. So,
Thank you.
this track is called Explorer. It's featuring myself. It's by the amazing Makoto on his 3rd Hospital album, but 7th full-length studio album, Motion of Change.
Thank you.
It's out right now. Honestly, go and get it. I'm just happy that I've been able to do this podcast. But thank you, my friend.
Thanks so much.
And yeah, we're going to let this tune roll out. Much love. From peace and coexistence with pain and some resistance, but you just get me going on. Love's harder from a distance, but I don't need assistance. Now we have our home. Needed someone just to listen, not treat me with suspicion. Now we're free to roam, free to roam. Now I'm walking down this path, you made it bright enough. And I'ma take you to the stars, so let's light it up. We'll blaze a trail like nobody's ever blazed before. I'm always in a state of awe. You handle life when it's hard to love. I would overthink the human race, especially when we're not speaking. But I don't care about the ins and outs, I never leave myself to be beaten. And that's down to your healing, yeah, this energy is no ceiling. And yeah, I'll take you to the stars tonight. Love is what I focus on. We're walking under the sun, and you save me from a hopeless one. You cool me and trust me, my girl, I got nothing to say. And I'm still in the wonder of how you make things so okay. We're free to roam. Yeah, I do apologize. I actually ask people for questions, and then when you're sitting in front of a legend like Makoto, it's hard to remember all the stuff that you were doing. But Silent Sword, that question about Another Star, I'm going to make sure I ask him, and then I'm going to let you know what the answer is on the next podcast. Found peace in coexistence with pain and some resistance, but you just get me going. Love's harder from a distance, but I don't need assistance. Now we have our home. Needed someone just to listen, not treat me with suspicion. Now we're free to roam. Free to roam. Life is harder when we're caught up in uncertainty, so we're expanding all our territories. You know our world is free. I'm not restricted by these general conventions. Yeah, there's too many to mention. These stereotypes don't work for me. I'm feeling like we got a breakthrough. I'm feeling like we got peace. The harder times that will make you just wanna feel the ground on my feet. And every day it's a blessing, especially cause you're so close. I promise you I'll do the most, yeah. Love is what I focus on. We're walking under the sun, and you save me from a hopeless one. You cool me and trust me, my girl, I got nothing to say. And I'm still in the wonder of how you make things so okay. We're free to roam. Okay. Incredible stuff. And it really is so nice to be able to talk to someone like Makoto that before I even realized I wanted to make drum and bass music, his soundtracks were something that was, you know, like an integral part of my life, particularly Human Element stuff. And then as he signed to Hospital, and the fact that he can still make music of that ability and still sound fresh and different, you know, all of that kind of funk and jazz and soul influences, like he mentioned earlier, the Marvin Gaye, the Otis Reddings and all the rest of it. It's so sick, man. It's so nice to be in a company of someone like that. So yeah, I've been told that I've been rabbiting on for a little while now, and you know, usually these podcasts normally end at about 1 hour 20-ish, but because we've had some guests, I think I'm going to roll out for a little bit longer. So now is the time, Mr. George, for our special event, the Degs exclusive. We ready for this, yeah? Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, all the people around the world, it is time for the Degs exclusive.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay. This is the most professional podcast on the planet. There's no doubt about it. You're locked into Hospital Podcast 461. I've had the very special guests, starting with SOLAH, then with LXT, and finishing off with Makoto. 3 incredible artists, 3 people that I'm looking forward to seeing what they're up to next. So yeah, this is the Degs exclusive. This track, or the skill song. How about that? The Forza Horizon 5 skill song. Well said, Brian. This track is called Reverse Apology. It's by an artist from Sri Lanka, right? Just get your head around that. He's put out loads of great music on labels like Gold Fat. His artist name is Irie, and this track is called Reverse Apology. I'm just going to let this roll out. It's super soulful, really beautiful, and I'm about to burp. Sorry. Yeah, big up Sri Lanka. A beautiful country and somewhere that, you know, I would have never expected drum and bass to come from. And that shows you how proud we should be of this music, people. Why not? A couple of classics. Honestly, big up everyone in the chat, man. I love you guys so much. Always showing love and respect to everyone we have on this podcast, so yeah. Okay. Right, so I don't know where this is coming from, man. Don't worry, I'll put it down, my friend. So, sorry, I'm just running through these tunes, but you know, we're obviously running a little bit late because I like to blabber on. I wasn't going to keep my guests for that long, but I did. So, it is time, party people, for Mystery Munch.
Mystery Munch.
No idea whatsoever what they are about to give me. Where did you put it? Wait, right, oh, it's here. Oh my God. Christ almighty. I mean, it's not that much. Wow, that looks incredible. So obviously I'm going to rate this out of 174. So I'll try and get a bit of I think it's just like a crepe. Obviously it's got a bit of like ice cream and stuff, but I'm going to have to like maybe eat this like the African I am with my hands because it's not breaking apart. But anyway, give me one sec. I'm literally going to all over myself. Okay. Wow. I'm going to give that. Oh, wow. That's really good. That's 172 out of 174. Incredible. Wicked. Wow. Guys, I wish I could share this with you, but I have diseases, so you can't have the same spoon as me. But yeah, that was really nice. My God, Mystery Munch. So basically what it is it's a pancake with like nuts. I think what is maybe Nutella. Yeah, maybe some ice cream and stuff like that. I've already got someone in the comments saying, move on, play some tunes. Sorry, Alex Bates. But yeah, that's absolutely delicious. So I'm actually going to play a new tune. So this track is the flip side of something that came out, well, it's coming out on Friday on Solvent Records that I played earlier by Askel, Elere, and Unglued with Pavan. And this is the B-side, or the flip side. And this track is Askel and Elere again. It's called 42. It's featuring myself, but this is a remix by some artists called Circumference. And I think they've done a really amazing job of flipping this tune. So yeah, big up everyone in the chat. Big up Alex Bates who wants me to move on. I was gonna like delay things just to annoy you, but I thought, there's no point.
Hope is all we have when we're trying just to tag along. Is there any trace of our loved ones when they're gone? Is there actually any point in endless faith? Is the scripture that you need so in time you can carry on? Or is it better to accept the chaos reigns? Cause none of us are really saved. Are we gonna see you again? Am I gonna see you again? Are we gonna see through the good? Or is everything I know just a depiction of a broken soul?
So yeah, this is some more freshness off the new Critical 20 Years album. This track is by Particle once again, and it's called That Hurts. Alright then, party people. Thank you all for locking on to the 461st episode of the Hospital Podcast, including this lovely crepe with nuts and ice cream that I'm eating. Now, not everyone appreciates, but I certainly appreciate because I haven't not eaten for anything for a while. It was great. So I'm going to play one more tune. Of course, if you've locked into this podcast before, I'm probably going to play more than one more tune, but I always call this one more tune. So as a little bit of backstory behind this, the vocalist that's on this track is someone that we got to hang out with when Josh, Unglued, and myself were touring in New Zealand, just gone. And I think she's absolutely amazing. I think she's got great talent. She's got really great energy about her. I think she's a really good songwriter as well. And so she's jumped on a production by some artist called Annex. And I, obviously, as you guys may know, I used to be massively into my jump up and still massively am into my jump up. And I think those guys really changed the game. But they've kind of flipped the switch a little, flipped the script a little bit and come up with something that's a little bit more, I don't know, like kind of moodier, darker, but more melodic and more soulful. So this track is called Nocturnal. The artist, the vocalist in question is called Ellipsa. So big up Ellipsa. Big up Lee Matthews, who are killing it as well out in New Zealand. And yeah, this is 100% the last tune, isn't it? Let's be honest.
As we enter the night and the lights, I admit that I felt it. Caught in the divide, it's a sign my perception has melted. All we find is we unwind our ties from the surface. Creeping inside, it's your eyes that tell me this is worth it. Look at me, I'm faceless. Looking for that midnight remedy of control chemistry, counting the time between. I experiment with my body. We extend and start to bend reality.
So yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm going to use this little breakdown just to say we will be back potentially live from Albania next week, and we're going to try and maybe get a few of you guys involved as well, have a bit of fun with it. For episode 462. If you're a producer, a vocalist, whoever, please keep sending me your music to dubsfordegs@gmail.com. Sorry, I got like some peanuts in my mouth. And you know, if I like it, I'll play it. It's as simple as that. I've been sent some really, really great music recently, so if I haven't got back to you via email, please don't get too disheartened, because, you know, I really want to support upcoming artists. That's what it's all about, especially being able to support artists from around the world like Sri Lanka, Japan, South Africa. It's been some nations on here, man. It's been crazy. But yeah, I'm going to let this roll out and then probably play one more tune.
Skin sparkling with the red.
break 'em down. Legs break 'em down.
Yeah, big up Sniffle Blocks. I hope your day at work wasn't too bad, my friend. All right, guys. Big up everyone in the building. Big up for locking on. And from an artist perspective, big up, especially when you've got people like Makoto in the building. Big up everyone that's just supporting artists and helping us pay our bills at the moment, because the last couple of years has been kind of crazy. So I'm not going to rabbit on for too much longer. I just really, really want to play this track. It is a bit of a long one, so I might not play all of it. But anyway, this is one of the tunes that inspired me to basically start singing over drum and bass. It is by S.P.Y and Robert Manos, and you know, this track is a seminal tune of D&B. If you're part of the new generation, you should definitely get to know this tune, and if you're part of the slightly older generation like me, then you should probably get a walking stick, because oh my god, my back hurts. This track is called Move On by S.P.Y, Paradox and Robert Manos. Thank you guys so much. Episode 461. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your feedback on the podcast, and I'll see you next week. Oh, bless you, Ben Trussell. I just want to give a massive shout out to Ben Trussell's wife, Becky Trussell Jones. Much love. Hope you guys are having a good time.
It was blue and it was silver, and I came to deliver the thoughts that I had. I tried to write them down, but they got lost in the wind that came up. And I climbed all over this place, and I still stand up.
Sounded prepubescent when I just said that, George. I'm kind of losing my voice now. That's how much I love this tune. It's so emotional. Just for people that I just, didn't know, I've just seen a couple of comments in the chat saying this track is by Seba and Paradox and Robert Manos, and it's called Move On. Do you know what? It's got about 2 minutes to roll out. Should we just roll it out to the end, George? Might as well. Yeah, why not? But yeah, no, we really appreciate you guys locking on, and I'm just going to let this tune play. Much love to you all, man. Wherever you are in the world right now, I hope you're looking after each other. I hope you're staying safe. Massive shouts to SOLAH, to LXT, and of course the main man, Makoto. We will see you next week. Be good to each other, be nice to each other, and most importantly, spread love. Let's go.